Hello, hello, welcome, welcome. It's a fun Tuesday. My goodness, I'm the Doc, John Macaroon, getting right into it. My goodness, you look at it, today was a rainy practice. I had to take cover. You know why? Not because I'm soft, but because I had all these notes that were getting wet. So it was a wild practice today. Luckily, it didn't pour, but I had a little bit of a confusing moment as I drove into the facility. The big sign says practice is canceled. And I'm like, what happened? It's not raining. And so I still went into the parking lot. I thought about it for a second. I'm like, oh, I get to turn around and go home. It didn't work out that way. It didn't work out that way at all. But it was an interesting practice. Situational periods. One of those deals where definitely took some good notes today regarding what happened. You can check out exactly what happened in the observations. Detroit Lions on SI. Welcome everybody in on a Tuesday. Trying to get through everything here in the next hour to 80 minutes or so. I'm glad everybody's here early. Get after it. The Ronin 99. Hello. Welcome to you. Hi, Doc. It's good to catch everybody early. Make sure you like, subscribe, comment. You can comment in the official comment section on YouTube. Hit the retweet button. Engage with the show. It makes it more fun. I think everybody that has been joining has been liking the community. The chats have been very fun, lively, and it's one of those deals where people are really enjoying the information that I'm presenting. As some people have seen now, our channel is growing, over 3,200 subscribers, on our way to 4,000. Hey, just saw the Wingo video. Was wondering what was up with them. Yep, I shot the Wingo video. It's up. It's been on the site too. If you guys visit the website, you would have seen the video. The website had the update and the tweet at Detroit Podcast. I shared right when it happened. I'm like, oh, there's 94, and there's Maurice Norris. There's Sam LaPorta. So lots to get into, lots of rumors, lots of speculation. You guys are getting in early with the rumors. I have not heard this. Hello, Doc. Have you heard anything about a Micah Parsons trade? Someone reported on it earlier. If you find the report, share who said it. I have not heard anything about it, but some reinforcements are coming. So we'll talk about it. So here's the layout of the show. We're going to talk about those that came back. We're going to talk about my 6 pages of notes about what happened today. We're going to get into Amon-Ra St. Brown, my message about his off day. Not meaning that he took the day off, but based on his standards. Now, it wasn't filled with drops. There were some throws that weren't the best, but based on the standard that Amon-Ra has set for himself in practice, where basically every ball that's thrown to him is caught, today was not his best day. A lot of incompletions, a lot of attention given to him. Close coverage by Amik Robertson, DJ Reed, Terry and Arnold. The Lions defense was definitely getting after Amon-Ra St. Brown. Welcome, everybody. It's great. And we'll talk about what we saw in the team periods. The defense, I thought, got after it early. And then the offense, the backup quarterbacks, Kyle Allen and Hendon Hooker, kind of took advantage and were able to make some plays. The backup quarterbacks, yep, made some plays. Jared Goff, there were touchdowns. There were lots of touchdowns. 3 in a row, 3 series in a row that produced touchdowns. Austin's in early. Where are you guys listening from? Put them in the comments. I'll get a chance to glance. Where are you guys listening from? Yes, Hendon Hooker made plays. He does make plays in practice, guys, but what's most important is you got to do that against Houston. And also, too, I'm going to set the caveat about that because I think people don't understand kind of if you don't go. Aiden Hutchinson can't hit Hendon Hooker. Keith Cooper can't hit Hendon Hooker. So he's allowed to survey the field, take his time, and maybe they'll blow a whistle. But in a game, guys, the defenders put their arms up. They hit the quarterback. So there is a little bit of a curve there that you get when you're a quarterback. You just get to stand there and survey the field. So there is a little bit of a benefit you get by having that special jersey on that says, don't touch the quarterback. And that's where you're seeing the disconnect is if Hendon can stand there and survey a little bit and find someone open, he can make plays. But when it's live football and there's coverages and unique exotic coverages and blitzes and people trying to hit you and put their arms up and knock the ball down, That's a whole different level up. But Hendon made throws in practice today, which is a good thing. You can check out at Detroit Podcast where I shared who impressed me today. So, and you guys have just understood. Sometimes the lights get bright when you got to go under, the big time and face another opponent. That's just the way it is. But let's get after it. The reinforcements are back. It was great to see number 94 out there. Mekhi Wingo, he told reporters, we caught up to him. He was trying to walk to the back there, the back entrance to the gym, and a handful of reporters wanted to talk to him, and he was gracious to give us his time. And he shared that he thought that he could come back at the start of training camp, but 2 to 3 months ago, he had a setback and needed another procedure to clean out his knee. And so that's why he's now starting at this point in training camp. Feels like he can be ready fully by week 1, but he's going to acclimate, ramp up, because he indicated when I asked him, I said, hey, what's your mindset right now? It's like getting better and getting into football shape. So this is a big get, a guy that if he can develop this year and stay healthy, now you potentially have the replacement for Ahmed Hassanin for the first quarter of the season. You got a guy that's versatile, that can be a run stuffer, that can get after the quarterback and be somebody in the rotational mix along the defensive line. That's a nice ability for number 94 to get back and to have an opportunity to acclimate and to help this defensive line. I thought that last year, ended up being a year that was injury, unfortunately cut short due to injury. And I think he's a player that the Lions are very high on. Last year, the coaching staff said that, this is a player that's caught on to the defense pretty quickly, is very bright, hardworking player that has the potential to wreak havoc and to get after it. Now, the issue is going to be his size. What opportunities do you get? Maybe he's a situational pass rusher at different times. But for Mekhi Wingo, getting back out on the field can only benefit the Detroit Lions. And that's great. It was great to see him back out there. I think that's a real positive sign. What do you guys expect from Mekhi Wingo? It's a nice opportunity with him and Josh Pascal to come back. Maybe you can offset the loss of Ahmed Hassanin due to his pectoral injury. I do think so. Absolutely, Ronan. That's a nice rebound after the Ahmed news. Shout out to Phil. Yep. Dorsey's back as well. 2 days in a row. Getting some guys back. We'll talk about that at the end, Braylon. Maybe there's a chance. We now know where he's at right now. He's still doing the Caribbean thing. I told you, Braylon, it's boat season. It's vacation season. And he ain't trying to come back anytime early, but he might be in a better mindset. We'll talk about that at the end of the show. What do you guys expect, those of you tuning in, from Mekhi Wingo? I think it could be a nice pickup this year. Very nice. Nice pickup, nice addition back to the roster. Hopefully he stays healthy. That's the key. That's the big key for a young player, is to be available, grow and develop. I think he'll work very well with Casey Rogers, and I think he can be in the rotational mix there. Now we got to kind of pay some roster shuffling. Who gets cut? Because the 53-man roster for most people now, if he's off the PUP list, he's going to be in. That might mean out for Hendon Hooker. There were some talks amongst the media today. Our 53-man rosters are starting to take shape. I don't think it's going to be 7 receivers, guys. Might be 6. I don't think it's going to be 3 quarterbacks. Might be 2. You need Mekhi Wingo back on the roster. What do you guys expect? Phil, I think you know the answer about TK85. Makes plays, but I think he is a top 69 player ranked between 53 and 69. I just don't see him being a top 53 player. I see him being a top practice squad guy. The Ronin, Ahmed for Wingo is a 1-for-1. And maybe even better. He's got a year of experience under his belt, a little bit more experience. So it's a good pickup. Now, great sign. Sam LaPorta was back. Now, Wingo and LaPorta didn't do a lot of teamwork. They did a lot of the stretching and the individual periods with their individual group units. But it was great to see 87 out there stretching, getting after it. He's getting his way, working his way back. Having Sam LaPorta return to practice can only bode well for the offense. A player that everybody respects. Most people believe that he's going to become a full, well-rounded tight end, and he blocks well, and he's expected to have a rebound year this year in John Morton's offense. Prior to him missing some time, he was having a great training camp. He was clearly one of the favorite targets of Jared Goff. He was a player that you could start to see gaining confidence, and I do think he's going to be an integral factor in this offense. So for Sam LaPorta to return is really, really also a great opportunity for the Lions offense in the coming weeks. You know, it's about that time to ramp up the offense. You're going to have a joint practice with the Houston Texans. I don't know how much involvement Sam LaPorta will have in that one singular joint practice, but as the season ramps up, next week is an opportunity to set the roster, and then they'll start the process in the following week of planning and getting after it and practicing as they prepare for the Green Bay Packers. Guys, the season's right upon us. It's just that quickly. It was a fast camp. I've recorded every single day, and it's just been wild to see how fast training camp has flown by. So for Sam LaPorta, really, for a player of his caliber, I just think that getting the opportunity to get back in any capacity is really going to bode well. Definitely, you know, the Lions are really interested and intrigued by their tight ends blocking, opening up holes, and all the tight ends on the roster, Brock Wright, Shane Zylstra, Zach Horton, they've done a good job of accomplishing exactly what Dan Campbell wanted. Be physical, get after it, move the pocket, move your opponent, and allow for the opening of holes for the running back. So Sam LaPorta returning to practice really, really bodes well for the Detroit Lions. What are you guys thinking about Sam LaPorta? It's a real interesting topic when you look at this player. The Lions still value him as a blocker and want him to really be integral in the run game. It's a fascinating look at a player that has a lot of offensive talent. I'm not so much, you know, in favor of all that blocking. I think that opens him up for more injuries. You've seen him miss some practice time. I just think he's a player that you can kind of give him the Frank Ragnow treatment. Take it easy on the guy. Like Sam LaPorta blocking 300-pound defensive tackles and defensive ends. Give the guy a break. Let him run routes. Leave that to somebody else. I hope that Sam LaPorta is used effectively in this offense. I truly see a George Kittle. I see a Cole Kmet. I see somebody that can be used effectively in an offense. Somebody that just gets the ball. Somebody that is just one of those players that is around the football as a tight end. One of those great tight ends that can be effective, run after the catch, be integral. But yeah, he does have the skills. He's getting better as, you know, I think he's even getting better as a blocker. What do you guys think? DLFPIG says he's a great blocker, though. Understood. Yeah, he's going to be used to open holes. Drago. Hi, Doc. I guess we'll see how Morton uses him. What do you think is the best way to get Sam LaPorta to be an all-pro? Just a fan believes that LaPorta will have a big year this year? Absolutely. Yeah, the Ronin understands our cuts are going to be snapped up. That's what's going to make the 53-man really tough. It's going to be between probably Vaki and Reynolds. Do you keep 4 running backs? Do you keep 5, 6 wideouts? It doesn't make any sense at all now to keep Hendon Hooker in any capacity. You need that spot for Mekhi Wingo. You need that spot maybe extra for Jackson Meeks. Keith Cooper's earned a spot. Kennelly's earned a spot. Kennelly's earned a spot. Those 53-man picks are going to be tough. It's going to be tough. But Sam LaPorta's back, and we also saw Maurice Norris doing his work, but he's still in concussion protocol. He was getting the movement. Today was a padded practice. It was a padded practice. It was good, too. All right. Now, it did sprinkle. I brought an umbrella. I give credit. Some reporters don't bring umbrellas. You have to. And so you could tell, I don't know if you could tell a little bit, my notes got wet. And so I was like, I'm not that coordinated. Like, I'm trying to hold an umbrella, and my phone and start writing stuff down. I'm like, this is gonna be traumatic. I can't get all this information down. Luckily, behind us there was the VIP stand. So if you know the layout, there's the far field that has the big stands, and then all the way by the entrance, there's a VIP stand. Luckily, PR let us go in there. But the Lions were talking a little junk. I like it. Not anybody that we see regularly, but one of the communications managers felt the need to call us soft. But we all said, no. This is for the betterment of reporting. You can't write and have your papers get all wet. So I took shelter, but I stood up for most of it. I was tempted to sit down during special teams period, but I wasn't really comfortable. The seats were, regular seats, but I took shelter. That's right. For you guys to take 6 pages of notes. You can't. And now, if I had the book, there was 1 or 2 reporters that stood on the field in the rain, give you guys credit. But if you don't have a book that's covered, your notes get wet. So there's no way to report accurately. So let me give you the gist of it all, and then I'll break down each period. The gist of it was the defense, in the early reps with run plays, got after it. They forced some 3 and outs. Then as the practice went on, the offense started moving the football. There were situations in which the defense made some mistakes and didn't capitalize on opportunities to get turnovers. And Hooker, Allen, and Goff were able to lead some drives. So it was a good practice. I think everybody's going to walk away with something there to be happy about. I think the one player that's going to be livid is Amon-Ra St. Brown. Not because he had significant drops or anything. It's just one of those days where the football was finding him in spots that just allowed for the defenders to get there to break up the pass. It wasn't like he was running bad routes. Just sometimes the connection, the momentum based on the routes weren't the best, and he was finding the ball getting they were after him. I think today's mission was, all right, Amon-Ra 14 is all over this film. We must stop 14. Just make it his life miserable. If he's around the ball, you be sticky on him. I love how some of you interpreted my tweet to say Amon-Ra took a day off. If he's healthy, he's playing. It was an off day. He had a lot of incompletions. Some of it was the quarterback's fault. Some of it was timing of the route. But there were plays he could have made that weren't made. Now, this is based on the high standard of, hey, this is a guy, for example, this is a guy that maybe is a 98% free throw shooter, ends up missing 5 in a row. So this is based on his high standards from what we see, where if 10 passes are thrown to him, 9 are being caught, and they're all for first downs. They're for touchdowns. So it's just an off day. It's clear. So don't look at it like he was awful, but it was not as productive. I would say he went, 3 for 8, 3 for 9? A play that he could have made that just didn't end up in his wheelhouse. Make sure you guys smash the like button, and the more detail we'll give. Yeah, no, nothing to be worried about. Silent. The question is, was the offense still moving when St. Brown was the focus? Absolutely. Absolutely. Kerry, that's going to be a tough one. Sailors is a good player. I think they're going to try to want to maneuver him to the practice squad. I do think someone could pick him up too. He's a good player. But, that's a tough one to do. So I think they're going to try to get him through the waivers and get him back on the practice squad. That's going to be tough. Vaki's better than him. He had a big 40-yard run today. So situational periods were okay. There were some nice throws. Tim Patrick walked off the practice with a touchdown, and he had himself a nice dance. All right, let's get into it. Now, early on, there were one-on-ones on the other side of the field that you saw the highlight with Isaac Tesla. I should just start the day with a nice highlight, right? Let's get our palate cleanse and just say, wow, let's appreciate a player that we all can respect. Oh my goodness, is Isaac Tesla just a dude that just makes plays? All the kid does is make plays, and you rarely see DJ Reed get beat in one-on-ones. He was today. We're going to take advantage and enjoy. Oh my God. how good he was getting after it. It's just one of those deals where you can see a player just showcase his skills. It's just awesome. So let's start our recap with just Isaac Tesla. Now that was on the other side of the field. We're on the other side. Oh my goodness. Let's enjoy this. Look at that. DJ Reed doesn't get beat too often. Woo! That's all this guy does is catch footballs. What can you say about this? Look at this. Beautiful toss. Boom. Beats DJ Reed, who doesn't get beat that often. How can you not enjoy this? Get him on the first team. That's money. One more time. You just can't. Can't look at this. Gets off. And that's why Doc declares this always. Friends, don't let friends play cornerback. If Isaac Tesla wants to, he could abuse DJ Reed day and night. Size, speed, route running. DJ Reed is just at a disadvantage, not because of talent. Just look at that. You just saw it. Oh my goodness. Tesla made my impress list. He's just there doing his thing. So if any of your friends want to play defensive back, tell them, stop it. That's a nightmare job. I don't know who threw it. I'm going to say this is say Goff threw it. It's Tesla, you know. I don't know who threw it. I was on the other side of the field. That's what stinks is that there's one of me. There should, if there was two, we could station two people. But for me, what I started to see was the twos, and they were doing a one-on-one drill also. So early on, I'll go through it real fast. 84 got a pass from Hooker early, beating number 34. Now these next 3-4 reps in the individuals, these guys were making moves to get open. Jahmyr Gibbs made a move on Jack Campbell. Got a nice reception from Hendon Hooker. 89 got a reception on 43. And 13, basically they were lined up quarterback and then receiver and defensive back. And all three were using moves to get open pretty easily. So early on, the offense was securing some receptions in that same one-on-one period. 27 got the first pass breakup on a pass for 48. 55, Derek Barnes broke up a pass that was intended for Vaki. I mean, all this time, Hendon Hooker's, there's no pressure on him. He's just surveying and throwing the ball. There's nobody on him. There's no defenders. It's just the one defender and the one offensive player. 41 got a reception on 47. Sorry, let's see here. I circled 41. Maybe it was a pass intended for 47. You guys can check that out. Because I put the next play was 2 to 48. And it was incomplete, but 41 got a nice amount of holding going on. That's actually a nice question here. In the end, a lot of different names. It was very good. There's not one branding because in the end, I'm affiliated with one thing. I started the company Detroit Sports Podcast. So the way it goes is that's a company name. Detroit Sports Podcast. That's the company name, the brand, the biggest brand. Now, we partner with a lot of different anybody that we want. Our biggest partner is on SI. We are partnered with them. So, in partnering with them, I didn't want to make another podcast called Detroit Sports Podcast. I wanted to create a kind of Lion-specific podcast. So when Brad Holmes said, I like lone wolves, those that are free thinkers, I like to listen to people that don't just go with the flow. I said, I like that podcast name. So I created Lone Wolves Podcast. But in the end, it's not one thing. I'm the Doc, John Macaroon. That's my name. And the podcast is the Lone Wolves Podcast. What you're listening to right now is what it's called. And we're featured on SI. This is the branding of where this podcast is. Now I'm free if I want to start another podcast to shop that around elsewhere too. Isn't that great? So it's not really, it's in the end, you could just say it's Doc. And don't worry, you can find me in all these different places. You can find it on the website. You can find it on here. You'll find me. Don't worry. And also, too, no confusions. You see me, you know who you're talking to. It's just different shows have different names. And so technically, in the end, Detroit Sports Podcast is my media company affiliation. And so anybody that wants to work with me will write a check to Detroit Sports Podcast. Or John Macaroon. It should be it should have a similar affiliation. Confused? But you're right. It is a lot of names. I'm trying to pick up more. At Detroit Podcast. It's all media jargon. But it's Doc at Detroit Podcast. And the way I described it is the Doc is the central hub. The Detroit Podcast Twitter is the central hub. And then we just branch it out to where you need to find stuff. You can find it here. You can find it on the website. You can find it on X. You can find, listen, in the end, it should not be too hard to find me because I tell everybody where I'm at. But a good question for you, because I know how I explain it. What would be the best way you would describe it? Just Doc. We find him when we find him. You found me, didn't you? And so there's the spots to find me in further ways. Like a chameleon, just all over the place. Yeah, but 41 definitely got a grab of 48. 41 held incomplete. 84 got a reception, and 53 was in coverage on 89. Yeah, Silent. Terry Arnold's having a great camp. Winning all the time. Just doing his thing. All right, let's get into the practice. That was page 1. That was just the first stuff that we saw right in front of us. Now, page 2, we get after it. The first couple plays are run plays to number 5 from 16. Run middle. And then Amik Robertson, who made my impress list, he broke up a pass that was intended for JMO. It started around, they were pumping in crowd noise, started around the 6-yard line, is how I have it. Next was second team, which featured number 8, leading the way, Kyle Allen. Run play to Vaki. Tom Kennedy makes a play. He got a completion with 27 in coverage. And, you know, it was a good start. Now, here's the second team offensive line. It featured the right tackle, number 70, right guard, 52, 65 is the center, 74 is the left guard, and 72 is the left tackle. Same starting offensive line that you're accustomed to. Now, we get back to, there's 2 quick periods. That's usually kind of the start where they run, kind of get the line going, get the tackling going, kind of get in the rhythm. Then we start seeing some things in the next team rep that featured the ones. Run play to David Montgomery to the middle. Now, this one should have been picked by DJ Reed. It was a pass play from Goff to Amon-Ra. Should have been picked, but him and Amik collided, and the ball was jarred loose. Now, the next play, the third play of this series, was a toss to Jamison Williams. If this was a game, that would have been the last play for Jamison Williams because 32 came in there like a heat-seeking missile, and he popped him. Oh, my goodness. Popped him like he owed him something. And that's what 32 was doing all the time. I'll share with you my note. See if I can put it here. Now, he could have got him more. Let's see. 16 to 1, 32 could have hit him like a heat-seeking missile. Wow. That was awesome. Brian Branch came to hit like he was pissed. Like maybe he heard someone say he should be traded, which we'll talk about. I bet you that's probably what it was. It's like, are they really talking about trading me? The Italians hate me? Not the Middle Easterns. The Italians hate me? Shame on you, Italians. We're friends. But we'll talk about it. Absolutely, the Ronin. Abso-stinking-lutely. We all noticed it. We were like, we can hear that. Wow. Branch, I said to a colleague, Ben Raven, I said, or somebody else, I forget, because we were all talking in general. We were like, I don't want to play against Brian Branch because he'll hurt you. And then he'll walk off the field, smile like he wants to go for some tea and some biscuits. Quiet off the field. Like, serious. On the field, he's out to hurt. He's out to hurt people. Now we get to second team reps. 33 run middle. 33 then had a nice run, which was set up by the left tackle. Nice blocking. 72-74 did work. And Sione Vaki got to the left side and busted out about a 35, 40-yard run. Biggest play of the day on the ground, and everybody was happy. Run middle with Craig Reynolds. A toss from Hendon Hooker to Tim Patrick. And then a completion to Tesla with 35 in coverage. That's page 2, first page of notes, 1 and 2. Now we get to page 3. Now, this is kind of where the scrimmage starts to kick off. The points are starting to be picked up. It was a weird scoring system. Clearly 6 points for a touchdown. I don't know how. I think the defense, if they win a series, if they get off the field, they get a point. And then if you're taking notes for the bingo, here are the numbers we wrote down. I officially wrote down because there was a period where we could take a break. I wrote down who was out. Number 31, 67, 99, 86, 61, and 40 were not there. In terms of, they might have been doing work with the side or wherever they were doing. They were not playing football. 31, Kirby Joseph. Hopefully comes back. 67, 99, 86, 61, and 40. Those are the absentees, which are all documented at Lions on SI today through the various stories. Through our Makai Wingo story, you knew who practiced, who was there, and then through this very podcast, you now know 6 players who weren't there. They were backed up, and first play is a Montgomery run, another Montgomery run with Terry Arnold making a tackle, getting up into the line of scrimmage. J-Mo has his biggest play of the day. He beats Terrion with Rock Ya-Sin in coverage. It was a third down play, and he extended the drive. 16-1 was nice. Nice play. Then it was a run play to Jahmyr Gibbs. This one upset the coaching staff because he was breaking a lot of tackles. Everybody was kind of like, he was elusive, but he was running hard, but the tackling was really bad. Lots of missed tackles for about 10 yards. And then on second down, give it back to Gibbs for another first down. Gibbs again, three straight plays to Gibbs. Incompletion to Khalif Raymond with 21 in coverage. Amon-Ra St. Brown, another incompletion. Now this one I thought it was third down. He runs to the left sideline. It's good coverage from 4 and 32 in the vicinity, but that's a play that Goff and him have connected with quite a bit. He could have made that play. He ran down. The ball was not maybe perfect, but that was a catchable ball. Not completed. Drive over. Now we get another break in a special teams period, which was great. I talked to Brad Galley a little bit. He's like, what's the story today? I said, offense, defense, kind of talking about Brian Branch. He's like, yeah. He's like, I don't envy you writing down all these plays. I'm like, I love it. Even if I wasn't required to document and have an observation story, I would do it. It's great. It's fun. I got better at it. I think today I documented 99.9% of the plays. I might have missed 1 or 2. And I think you guys like this. You like just me going through the plays and what's happening in the series and everything going on. And if you want me to stop, I will. I can summarize a lot of these things because a lot of it's gone right through in the observations. I think you guys like it. You just kind of know what's happening if you're not there. And if you don't like it, let me know. I think most of you have enjoyed the kind of just, hey, what's happening play by play? What's your thoughts on it? and it puts you in the action. So my eyes are your eyes. I feel like that's really a wonderful way to share information. Is just, what did I see? Next set, first team, run right with Jahmyr Gibbs, middle run with Gibbs. Third play was a first down call. So the first was a first down run on the first play. Second down, Jahmyr Gibbs earns another movement of the chains. Now on first down, there was a completed pass, but we all documented it as 32 a sack because he was all over the place. So now it's second down. 97 was all up in Goff's business. He gets it out quickly to J-Mo, but he drops it. That was the one that I documented in my notes. J-Mo dropped the ball because 97 wrecked the play. Dude looks fast. Dude just looks like he's just shot out of a cannon. There's no concern about Aiden. Every day, you're writing 97 down. Every single day. Now, this is where Amon-Ra picks it up a little bit. He gets into the middle and has a completion from Goff. First down, 97 gets a pressure and 16 scrambles left, and it's incompletion. Second down, they decide that it's time to get the ball to David Montgomery. Pop! Guess who popped him? Mick Robertson got in there so fast, like a missile. Popped him. It was over. Amon-Ra got a completion in the seam on third down. Fourth down and 2. Goff to Zylstra. Touchdown. So that was, I think, the first of the couple touchdowns in a row that got the offense going. First touchdown drive, Goff to Zylstra, set up by Amon-Ra's completion. Now another touchdown drive happens, led by Kyle Allen. So at this point, the score is 9-6 offense. So at this point, the offense takes the lead, and the defense never can pick back up. So it's a touchdown, made extra point, and the scoring on defense, I would presume a sack's a point or a stall drive's a point, but it's 9-6 at this point. Allen hands it off to Vaki. The second down play, I did officially miss. I had no idea. I was looking, I was writing, I was mental break. But then the next play was a first down play. So whatever play happened resulted in a first down. Completion to Tim Patrick. A run play to Vaki. Then there's a flag for holding, clear holding on the offensive line. We couldn't identify who it was because everybody got together. Allen found number 19 for a nice pass. Love it. Had a couple nice grabs. 20-yard gain. First down on the 25-yard line. 48 gets the carry for a run left. Second down, 8-48 for a 1-yard pass. And then to cap it off, 8-33 for about a 10-yard run. Touchdown. Now it makes it 15-6. Let me see here on page 233. Now we start getting into the red zone. The drives start in the red zone. Starts with a pass to Amon-Ra for 10 yards. Gibbs left run, middle to David Montgomery, 4 plays, and the next play is touchdown to St. Brown. Unfortunately, extra point 1, only one of the day missed. Extra point missed by Jake Bates. Cost his team a point. So it could have been 16-6, but it ended up being 15-6. But in the end, it's just point tallying, competition. But after that, Bates didn't miss a kick. 1 missed extra point. Yeah, and this is, like I said, that was the best portion of the practice from the Lions. Now we get to another red zone. Start with Allen leading the way, and it's 3 and out. Left to Vaki, 43 is right, 43 right. There's a screen pass, incomplete. Good field goal. Now, the second string offense goes up against the first team defense. So Hooker's, this is why people were like, you put Hooker in your impress list, because he, in the red zone, needed only a couple plays in the end zone. Run play to Craig Reynolds, and he found 80 for a touchdown. One of his best tosses, beating Amik. So the second team offense scored in the red zone against the first team defense. Touchdown, Hooker to 80. 80 sighting. Now it's the first team offense against the second team defense. 51 got up on 0 pretty quickly. Roy Lopez. Then it was a screen right to Gibbs. Pass breakup from 25, targeted for 11. 5 run play to the middle. A toss from 16 to number 14, but it's incomplete. Almost grabbed it, but 42 got in the way. Now, this is where I documented in the observations, hey, these are 3 guys that had pass breakups against St. Brown. Again, it was a struggle. Like, nothing was easy. Nothing was easy for St. Brown today. 16 to 89 middle with 52 getting the stop, and 16 to 0 in the middle, but no touchdown on third down. Good field goal. Now we get back at it with the ones versus the ones. Pass breakup for 36 against St. Brown. So you see how I'm saying? Pass breakup, not completed, not completed. That's what it was like all day for St. Brown. Next play, they tried again to St. Brown. Number 4 in the mix. That's where I highlighted the 3 guys in a row. Right from my notes, you're seeing it as I'm saying it. It's right in the observation. 3 pass breakups in a row. 89 middle. The offense fails to get the next first down. It's 4th and 7 from the 46-yard line with 38 seconds left. Now, this period that I'm describing, where they get the ball to St. Brown twice, this was a situational period. It was the team down 21-24, starting at the midway point, the midfield, 54 seconds left with 1 timeout. So that this is where they went to Amon-Ra, nothing happened. They're still in the midfield. Now it's 3rd down. They go to 89 for 3 yards. It's 4th and 7. They try to get it to 14 and does not get the first down. It could have been incompletion, but that series was over. So that was their situation, not the best. Now, this is the last situation. Page 6. Went through page 5. Page 6 situation is a little different. 20-27. The team is down. 1:06 left. 2 timeouts. Midfield. Own 42-yard line. So basically a little bit to my right. And the first drive was like right directly in front of me. 1st and 10 on the own 42. 8 toss play to 85. Right. 2nd down and 6. 1:01 second left. 27 flies in, bats it down. Wah! Not today. Remember that name because I can't say it. Kennelly. Remember that name. Wah! He does his job. He makes plays. He's on this team. He made the team because the doc said so. 3rd down and 6 from the 46-yard line. 57 seconds left. 8-18. Calls a timeout. Need a first down? Who are you going to throw to? You know who I just said. 1-8. On the plus side of the field, it's 4th and 1. So he didn't get the first down, but it was pretty darn close. Hut. Oh, no. 66 made a mistake, and he was mad. Flinched. Kyle Allen, you slick dude. You got your boy to flinch. Boy, was he mad. Now it's first down. So it's 3rd and 6. Got to 4th and 1. They earned the first down cheaply. 8 to 12 was incomplete. 38 outright had the coverage. 2nd and 10, got a first down, 8 to 18 in the middle. They spiked the ball. 2nd and 10, 8 to 33 with 15 in coverage was incomplete, low toss. 45 had the pressure. 3rd down and 10, 25-yard line, 27 seconds left. 50 gets the pressure. 8 was forced to scramble right. No chance. 4th down and 10 with 18 seconds left. Who are you going to target? Tesla, Patrick, Zylstra, tight end. No. TK85, baby, left. 1st down, TK85. 1st and 10 on the 14 with 10 seconds left. 8 to 85 right for a gain of 6 yards. 1st down and 4. 4 seconds left. 1st down and 4. 4 seconds left. Allen's been driving the ball, making some plays. TK85, Tesla doing their thing. Is Allen who's Johnny Morton gonna dial it up for Kyle Allen, who's had a great preseason? I'm gonna take TJ Lang's job. I probably could do it, but they'd have to kind of, teach me the ins and outs of the breaks, because it'd be like, Mr. Macaroon, you can't talk over the play-by-play guy. You're the analyst. Be like, yeah, I'm analyzing. Mr. Macaroon, you have to stop at some point. 1st down and 4. 4-yard line, 6 seconds left. Offensive line's been playing pretty well, giving Kyle Allen a lot of protection. Who's going to get the ball? Who do you go to? Mr. Reliable on the 3rd team. 12. Tim Patrick. Touchdown. 38 in the face Whiteside. 38. He had to watch Tim Patrick dance, and what a beautiful way to end practice. Touchdown. Overtime has been forced. That was the practice that I just shared with you. Bye-bye. How was that? That's a pretty good description, right? Some pass breakups. Do you like the way I describe it like that? Let me know. It's a lot of work, but I can't not write these plays down. I can't not analyze everything going on. A lot of good plays, a lot of butchered plays. So again, Amon-Ra had an off day, not because he dropped the ball, not because he wasn't running the right route. It was just a combination of they were targeting him. The defensive backs were like, that's public enemy number 1. The passes were pressured, and it just wasn't a productive day. Not his best day. So to recap it, it was a day that was started off slowly by started off slow for the offense, but picked up with 3 straight touchdown drives and a situational period that was led by Allen. Hooker got a touchdown, and you saw some good run plays. You saw the offensive line open up some holes. Ratledge opens up holes. They like to go to that side. I think Vaki definitely has something to prove, knowing that he missed time. That was practice. Any questions from some players you want to know about, hit the super chat. It'll jump to the front of the line. Got about 10 minutes left. I think I succinctly described practice. I hope it made you feel like you were there. Phil, awesome, Doc. Kerry gets in. Hey, John, one day ask Dan if the boss can see Manu at fullback running a sweep behind Sewell at the 5. First and goal at the 5-yard line, huh? Manu at fullback. You got some creativity to you. Yeah, 83 was not there. I mean, metaphorically. Wasn't involved today. Today was not his day. Nothing serious. It's one of those days. You can't get targeted. There's a lot of mouths to feed. Yeah, 83 is usually Kyle Allen's guy. You're on top of it, who dat? Yeah, it wasn't his day. So definitely like the chat. Thank you. I think a lot of you respect the fact that I'm going through play-by-play and give you a recap verbally of what's happening. You can go back and you can kind of go through it. And I'll do a better job because it also helps me too. I need to document better the situation so I can tell you what it is, if it's red zone, where they're at. And so this will help me for next year's training camp. But I think you guys get a gist of what's happening. You at least know who's getting targeted, if the play is good or not. You at least know if it's a regular play, chunk play, who's getting the touchdowns, and it's all documented pretty factually. I would think that out of 16, 17 reports, maybe 2 errors where I got a number wrong. It's pretty good. Good question, Max Splicer. Not yet. No. I worked late tonight, so sorry if it was already answered, but did 61 go on season ending? No. They have a chance to wait till Tuesday, and I think that's probably what they're going to do. Put him on IR on Tuesday. That way he only has to miss the first 4 games. The Ronin. Thank you. That means a lot. Love the running narrative style. Yeah, just go play by play. Here's what I saw. I think you guys like it. I like it. It kind of also, when I look at it, unlocks the stuff I was writing. Because sometimes it's just literally the Ronin is like play, play, play. Who did this? Yeah, checking with the media. It's a lot, man. But these young guys are still getting after it. Still got the energy. But as of now, Max Splicer, not yet for Ahmed Hassani. GAMG, John Q. Do you believe McNeil will be back before November? They said he's ahead of schedule, but I think they like to ramp it up. And I would say probably November is the safest thing. Always be more cautious. Lions are cautious. Like he'll get a week or 2 of practice. He'll make sure that he's fully healthy and acclimated, get it into the building, get after it. So no pressure on, I think that Tyleik Williams will have a nice impact early on. And Alim McNeil will be basically a trade deadline acquisition. Like it from Phil. Alim McNeil is your trade deadline acquisition. But could you have somebody else? A real big time acquisition. All right. Our Italian friend on the radio. Listen, you got to give him his credit. He's the best. He's the staple. He's the biggest. He's the baddest. He's the guy that makes people talk. If I write about him, that means people are talking about him. Full stop. I'm not wasting time writing about people that nobody's talking about. We talk about Mike Valenti, people talk about him. Spartan Dog. Give him his credit. You don't have to like his takes. You don't have to like the genuineness of his takes, but the stuff that he says is interesting and inspiring. The job is to create discussion. Now, it would be great to see him out there one time. Just walk out there and talk to one of the players. See how fun that is to walk up to Brian Branch and be like, I said to trade you. That's where I think the doc gets a little bit of credit more than Mike. I'm willing to say what I say and walk right to the player and say it to his face. And then run and hide. I should just do that. Just be like, I don't want to go to the facility anymore. I'm just going to hide. It's easier. I could do that. Just spit out bold takes. But this take was interesting because I get what he says, but I disagree. Because you can't create a hole to add a talent to fill one hole and open up another one. Mike said that it's a good take to opine. He said that if you want Trey Hendrickson, you got to trade something for him. He's open to trading Brian Branch and a pick for Trey Hendrickson. That's wrong. You can't do that. Part of the reason why your defense is good is the safety combination of Branch and Joseph is the best in the league. You can't create that hole. It's simple. F them picks. 1 first-round pick, 1 second-round pick, whatever number of picks that you think that they want, make an offer. 1 and a 3, 1 and a 4. You can't do that. You can't give up a player. Of course the Bengals want a player. They want to maximize their return. But guys, Hendrickson's not 25. He's 33. You can't trade Brian Branch, who's about to enter, not even yet his prime, for Trey Hendrickson, who's going to be upset because I don't think he's getting an extension. I don't think at this stage of the game, a team's going to be like, yeah, we want Trey Hendrickson at this stage of the game, learning our defense, and then we're going to give him 5 years and $40 million a year. He got jammed. The Bengals jammed him. He got jammed. So to me, F them picks is the strategy. I don't care. 1, 2. I would probably go 2 first-rounders to be desperate and get after it because I do think that Hendrickson and Aiden Hutchinson makes you formidable like the Broncos were and the Eagles. Davenport as a reserve. You mix in a little bit of Davenport just every other series. Oh, my God. But I'm not trading Jack Campbell. I'm not trading Brian Branch. That's ridiculous. And you have Brian Branch for a couple more years. No, we can't say that, Dan Gamble. It's too many resources for an aging player. Absolutely, Houdat. It's an opinion he gave. And what people do is they don't argue the opinion. They just go and insult the guy. Listen, he's the best of the best. Hands down, everybody in the realm of broadcasting knows who number one is. It's that guy. But you can debate it and say that's absolutely a ridiculous take. It's not founded in facts, not founded in reason. Brian Branch has a really great contract number. You got him for a couple more years under control. You have options with him. I think Brian Branch is arguably better than Kirby Joseph. Dan, I've been seeing that a couple of times. What's his take? Fill me in. According to Booner, we're all dumb for the Henderson take. Is it he's saying that we're all dumb, like we all need to bow down and get Hendrickson no matter what and trade anybody? Or that we should not have the take? No, you should want Hendrickson, but we got to get him for cheap. See, to me, here's how I would rationalize it. Let me get my toxic juice here. I don't care about sustained success in any capacity. I don't care about 26. I don't care about 27. I care about the next 4 months. You sacrifice and you gamble. You tell everybody, I believe this 25 roster with the starting 11 I got and the starting 11 on defense that I got is worthy of pushing. I think it's time. You got Goff, Gibbs, Montgomery. Guys, every year these guys play, yeah, they'll get better, but eventually they get more expensive and they get older and they get more miles on the tires, more tread, more practice time. And unfortunately, Dan Campbell rides the car to the extreme. 6th gear. Like, he ain't protecting these guys. These guys are going hard. So I'm pushing in right now. We go 2 first-round picks, get Hendrickson here. We push. Let's see what happens. Now, it doesn't work out. You don't get the Super Bowl. You tried. Break it down. Next year's a wash. Is a tank year. You stink. You go 5-12, 5-13, whatever. Get the 8th, 9th pick. Restock again. And boom. 1 year off. And in the next year, you're right back at it. This team has shown that they can hit 3-4 draft picks in a draft. Maybe not all of them, but I'm all for taking a chance now. Nope. Well, what do you want to call it that? It's a green dial Shinola on my hand. I'm a sucker, which I know it's not real, but it is purportedly water from Mount Everest and crystal from some faraway mountain. It is a Michigan State bracelet and a Detroit Tigers bracelet. I rep green and I rep the Tigers. Now, I can't wear a Lions one in front of everybody. I wanted a Lions one, but I wear these two for good luck and solidarity for our Detroit teams, from MSU and for the Detroit Tigers, because those two teams need it the most. So I wear it every day in front of the whole world. Good luck. I took my daughter to the Rally House. That's where I got it from. The Healing Properties. I don't believe in all that. It makes me happy. So you guys know I rep Detroit publicly. MSU, green, baby. Green's my favorite color. And then the Detroit Tigers. And then if I'm ever off the Lions beat, I will wear a Lions one, maybe 3. The Healing Properties. The Healing Properties. I don't buy it. It's a sucker purchase, but it makes me feel good. What would you give up? Okay, now we know it's not happening. It's a 0.005% chance, but it's not 0. Brad knows what it's going to cost. I would offer something. I would at least say, hey, we offered a second for him and they turned it down because they wanted a player. At least throw it out there. What's it hurt that you tried? It's better than we're not scared. You're not scared, but you're not pushing you're not letting us know you're being aggressive. At least let us know you're shopping. Guys, I went shopping for Trey Hendrickson and it was a disaster. They wanted too much. I mean, I probably will have to ask him directly, which I probably will. So if anyone wants to know, here's the question. Brad, were you in on the sweepstakes to make a trade recently for Trey Hendrickson? Well, John, I'm not going to really talk about those opportunities. That I'll be like, but people want to know, were you at least aware of what it would cost to get him here in Detroit? Was it just too costly? Why do you think it didn't happen? So, yeah, that's the part. But I think eventually, I think he's got to take the year and play and deal with it. Otherwise, he's going to have to bite the bullet and play for the Bengals. He can't force a team to give him an extension. If he wants to sit out, I don't see a guy that's a competitor wanting to sit out, especially if you come to Detroit. He knows Dan Campbell. Yeah, he wants to be paid, but it doesn't mean you have to. You just got to say, hey, man, sorry. It's business. You come here to win, and you get your money next year somewhere else. What would you trade? I think the price is coming down. The price is a second rounder. Would you just give up one first rounder and say, hey, here's our pick, 2026. Here's a first rounder for Trey Hendrickson? I would sprinkle in another one. 2 draft picks, no players. At least say you made a bad offer. Let me know what the deal is. Not, we're not going to get him, not worth it. What would you offer? Would you just do one first round pick for Trey Hendrickson at 30 years old? I'd do it. I feel like you get better as a football team as opposed to whatever you're going to get with pick 29. What would you get? What is he worth? Just if you were the GM and we could publicly say, okay, John Macaroon, the GM, would give one first round pick and maybe be open for a rebuttal for a third. First and a third, first and a second. I'd consider it. I'd think about it more with the second pick added. That's that. Now, I will admit publicly here for our friends that today, and I've done it quite a bit. I mean, you know, kind of the serious nature of it. I did throw out a tweet that I wasn't like 100% behind, but I did it because I thought it. Remember, the doc's thesis is if he thinks it, he tweets it. He doesn't care really about the veracity of it. He likes to laugh. And I said it to a reporter today. And once it went down, I said, all right, it's probably worth just tweeting it. Now, but I always admit, because you guys, most of you picked it up. I did it for the laugh. But it started off that way, but I'm willing to spend 5 minutes on the conversation because I think it's one-sided. This one was just a stupid thought that we had when it came across the wire. The Joe Flacco dream is dead. He's the starter for the Browns. He's the starter. So he's not coming here. I levied this tweet publicly for all to see. This was from my brain, from the Lions practice facility. Now, this is how it started. We all got the alert standing there. And I'm standing next to Jeremy Reisman from Pride of Detroit. And half the time he's serious. He knows like the stuff that's coming out of my mouth is nowhere near serious. I said, Jeremy, you and I should co-write this. Hendon for Anthony straight up. And then I said to him, yeah, but I feel like we got to make it realistic. We got to ask for more. So then I get back to my chair to start writing the observations. And my colleague said, hey, did you hear about Anthony Richardson? Hendon Hooker for Anthony Richardson. AP said that. And my man, the guy that I covered the Dolphins with, he messaged me. He said, Anthony Richardson for Hendon Hooker. Who says no? So I stole it. And I told him I stole it. And I said, I just said that to Jeremy Reisman just like half hour ago, bro. And then what was funny was I said to AP, I said, but I feel like to be realistic, we got to ask for something back more from the Colts. The Colts contingent said, absolutely not. We need more from the Lions. So this, as I thought about it, I started off clowning. I was clowning, guys. I was clowning. It's not for clicks. It's just for shits and giggles, as they say. Because I can do it. But this was one of those ones where I thought about it more as I was about to type, and I said, you know what? It's almost even. Richardson lost his job to Daniel Jones, is a draft pick, has some skills. Hendon Hooker is lacking confidence. Who says no? They said the Colts would say no. No, they wouldn't. He lost his job. He quit on them. I just think it's immature. I think both swap and maybe both have a little bit of success. Hendon can learn a different system, can get after it. Anthony can learn a little bit of grit. Would he throw the football into the ground? I don't know. But the more I thought about it, I don't know. It's probably because I'm tired and I'm malnourished and I think about things in a way that doesn't allow for reason to hit my brain. But I would do it. Take on a different project and see what happens. Can't be no worse. You got Kyle Allen. I'm down for a project. Hendon's project, we kind of know the answer to. Is this crazy? Was that crazy? Like I said, I just did it for giggles. But the more I thought about it, I'm not terribly upset if that were to be the case. What do you guys think? Crazy? Wild? What do you guys think of this message? I don't know. I just, like I said, some stuff you guys know will be serious. Some stuff not. Exactly, Ronan. The more you think about it outside of the crazy nature of typing it, I actually kind of believe myself to say it's not all that bad. What do you guys think? Thank you, Houdat. Yeah, I mean, eating too much junk food. My physical came back really pretty good. Good blood pressure. I got the old man talk. The doctor said, drop 20 pounds and go on a low cholesterol diet. Other than that, I'm perfect. I got old. Just that quick. Chat, what do you think of DM5 TV? Who would you rather have, Hendrickson or Parsons? I'd rather have Parsons. It's nasty. Oh, Parsons. Easily. I think the chat would agree. What do you guys think? Quick swap. Call up the Colts. Wow. You get Hendon, we get Anthony. Is that wild? The comments were crazy. Can't even read some of them. What do you guys think? So that's what happened today. Get after it, guys. It was a good time chatting with you. I agree, Phil. It was a good trade. Good tweet. Make sure you follow at Detroit Podcast. That's the hub of the operation. That's where you can engage with the fans and see the wild stuff that comes out of my brain. And again, guys, it's not for clickbait. There's no clicks. You just read it. You just read it and engage with it. It's water cooler talk. It's not rage bait. Do I look like a guy that rages? It's not engagement farming. Okay, the true nature it is, I thought it. I joked with the reporter. I said we should write a story together. I said we should just do some cross. Like, you come and write on my side, I'll come right on yours. He just looked at me like, this is the 5,000th dumbass thing you said to me, Mr. Macaroon. Can you please stop? I said, nope, I got more tomorrow. He's serious, man. That guy's serious. Jeremy's fun. Like, he knows, but he's serious. And I just come to say wild stuff. But he laughs. That's a good start. I just hope he doesn't think half the time that I'm being serious. So, at Detroit Podcast, that's the hub. That's where you can find out all the branches of where things are. If you like and subscribe to this channel, you'll always know when the videos are popping. Hit that notification bell, ding. The second I go live or I tweet, you'll get a notification on your phone, and you can be part of the community. There's 400 people right now. Hit that like button, get it up there so we can continue to spread and grow. We're nearing 4,000 subscribers. I'm very humbled. I never thought that would be 3,000 would be attainable in 6 months. let's get after it, guys. Again, I've done a live broadcast at least for at least 30 minutes every single day since the day one of training camp. Nobody else did that. Bringing you live, detailed opinions, what's happening at camp. We had some fun. Camp officially ends Thursday with the preseason final joint practice against the Texans. We'll definitely recap that. I gotta be quick about it because I have that one might be a short recap, just boom, in and out. I have a date with my wife on Thursday, so it might be just in and out, boom. Going to see Fleetwood Mac in Grosse Pointe. So I have a date, so that'll be quickly. Friday might be a more detailed assessment of what happened, what I want to see in the game. Saturday will be the game. Obviously, we'll have a nighttime recap. Sunday, we'll start talking about the cuts. Monday, a detailed talk about what the roster should look like, a recap of the game, all that. Tuesday will be the cut day. The roster will be established by 5 o'clock. We'll do all the recap, 6, 7. Maybe we'll get after it around 7 o'clock on Tuesday. Wednesday, we will preview what Brad Holmes says, or what Brad Holmes is going to say next week after the roster cuts. Brad Holmes will address the media at some point next week, and probably we'll put a bow on it. Let's check the dates here, if that's a full month, or is this the full month? Training camp started on July, I want to say 25th. 1, 2, 3. Wow. This Thursday will be a month straight. Guys, 30 broadcasts. Wow. Which you can go relive all on demand. I will go 5 weeks of straight broadcast. We'll analyze what Brad Holmes said next Thursday, and then I'll take a break. I will officially end the live broadcast portion for a week or so. That week off, we'll plan it out. We'll talk in regular videos. We'll give you chances to comment across the week when you want live broadcasts from the doc. What time? Do you like 7 p.m.? That's a little bit late. I'm more leaning toward 10 a.m. or 1 p.m., kind of that window where there's not shows. But I want the most engagement from the most people. So you guys have a vote. When can we get the most people to engage in this live broadcast? Once or twice a week, or maybe 5 days a week. I don't know. If I can get a big-time sponsor for the Lone Wolves podcast, we'll get that nice, fresh logo at the top, and we'll do it every day. I like doing it. 10 a.m. One vote for 10 a.m. I like it. All right. You guys have your comments that you want to engage with. Like, subscribe. Oh, did I miss one? Oh, nope. I didn't miss one. We'll talk maybe tomorrow about Zadarius Smith. He's back with Cash Doll. Does that mean he's back? He's in St. Lucia, I believe. He's in the Caribbean. What logo are you using? The videos that feature my face are just clips of this or stuff I record. The live says live, so it makes it easy. It'll say live. That's the stuff that you see that has the broadcasts. They're longer. The shorter stuff is clips of this or stuff I record. Short little opinion pieces, Phil. All right. Let's take care, everybody. Thanks for the 75 minutes. Let's get after it. Let's talk tomorrow.